Hello learners, welcome back. In our last video, we have learned about firewalls, antivirus and their important role in securing your network infrastructure. In this video, we will be learning about network access controls and email security. When we think of any organization, what comes to our mind is people working in different departments like marketing, finance, development, testing, manufacturing, etc. All these different departments require access to various resources on the internet. Some of these resources may be shared resources or some may be private to certain individuals in the organization. Also, according to the hierarchy of the employees, each employee will need access to different applications. For example, the junior most employees will have access to limited resources in the company, but the higher management or the CEO, CTO or CFO of the company may have access to all the resources. So, would you like to know how this resource sharing and access control is managed in a company network? Let's start with network access controls. Network access control is also called network admission control. It is a method to enforce the security, visibility and access management of a network. It restricts the availability of network resources to endpoint devices and users that comply with a defined security policy. But why is it important to have network access control enabled in a company network? Network access control is essential for ensuring that the users who gain access to networks, data, devices and software resources are properly authorized to do so. In many cases, this is fundamentally a security concern, making sure that sensitive data, functions do not fall in hands of people who might purposefully or inadvertently use them. Network access control or NAC is important for its ability to manage the policies that define and execute access requirements, making sure that there is a consistent approach to access from various endpoints. It makes sure that any endpoint connecting to a network adheres to security state baseline, also allowing administrators to grant, revoke and quarantine access by a case-to-case basis. This highlights the importance of network access controls. In order to formulate network control policies, we need to understand network segmentation. Network segmentation is a network security technique that divides networks into smaller and distinct subnetworks that enable network teams to compartmentalize the subnetworks and deliver unique security controls and services to each subnetwork. Networks can be segmented by function, such as separating the finance from the human resource department, or by data type, such as splitting PHI from non-regulated data. Segmentation lays the groundwork for controls that protect against lateral movement on the network by ransomware or hackers, preventing an infection or compromise from spreading across the network. Network segmentation places internal boundaries in the network. This is especially important because of how ransomware operates. Ransomware gets a foothold in the organization and then goes around in actively scanning and leapfrogs its way into other things. Network segmentation can be implemented as either physical or logical segmentation. As the name implies, physical segmentation involves breaking down a larger network into a collection of smaller subnets. A physical or virtual firewall acts as the subnet gateway, controlling the traffic which comes in and goes out. Logical segmentation creates subnets using one of the two primary methods: virtual local area networks or VLANs or network addressing schemes. VLAN based approaches are fairly straightforward to implement because VLAN tags automatically route the traffic to the appropriate subnet. Network addressing schemes are equally effective but require more detailed understanding of the networking theory. Logical segmentation is more flexible than the physical segmentation because it requires no wiring or physical movement of the components. Automated provisioning can greatly simplify the configuration of the subnets. To sum up, network segmentation is a bad news for hackers as they cannot cause any damage even after penetrating the perimeter security of an organization. So, by taking a look at a few use cases, let's understand how network segmentation and network access control is implemented in a company. Our first use case is guest wireless network. Using network segmentation, a company can offer Wi-Fi service to visitors and contractors at relatively little risk. When someone logs in with guest credentials, they enter a micro segment that provides access to the internet and nothing else. Let's see another use case. To guard against the inside breaches, many enterprises segment individual internet departments and separate subnets consisting of the authorized group members and the applications which they need to do their jobs. Access between these subnets is rigorously controlled. For example, someone in engineering department is attempting to access the human resources subnet would trigger an alert and an investigation will be initiated immediately. With this, we have covered network segmentation and network access control in great detail. Yet, it is not sufficient to protect a company from all the cyber attacks. A company must implement security measures on three major fronts: people, process and technology. Let's now look at how the people of an organization play a critical role in ensuring the security of their company. The employees of any company normally use official email IDs to communicate with their colleagues, customers and vendors. Do you know that these email IDs can also pose a risk to your organization? Let us see how we can implement email security in a company. In the previous videos, you must have learned about phishing emails. Can you imagine how phishing can be used to exploit any organization? In fact, such attacks do take place. They are known as whaling. We all know that the whale is the largest mammal alive. Whales can be visualized as the kings of the sea. The other smaller fish look powerless when compared to the whales. In an enterprise scenario, the managers or the bosses can be compared to the whales. They hold powerful positions in the organization hierarchy. The junior employees obviously have much less control and privileges as compared to their seniors. Hackers take advantage of this hierarchy, and under the pretext of senior managers, they send targeted and specially crafted phishing emails to their junior employees. These emails are very difficult to identify as they have been carefully drafted to sound genuine. For example, if you get a mail from your boss asking you for some critical login credentials or some company secrets, you won't be able to deny the request since it came directly from your boss. As a result, you end up giving away all your confidential data, company secrets and sometimes also your money. Users can avoid this by simply contacting their colleagues to verify the genuinity of the email and, if possible, share the confidential details with them in person. Now, you must have realized that email security plays a vital role in any organization. So, here are a few guidelines for email security. First one, use trusted or secure devices. Second, make sure you keep a track of your passwords and change them regularly. Third, try to have multi-factor authentication. Next, use private and secured Wi-Fi. Avoid using public Wi-Fi and make sure you sign out of your email accounts if you have logged in from unknown devices. And most importantly, make sure you check an email at least twice before revealing any confidential information. In our next video, we will be covering wireless security and virtual private network. To summarize, we have covered network segmentation, network access controls and email security in this video. So stay tuned for the next videos.